You know what's always really fun and never, ever gets us in trouble by getting clipped and people coming back to it months later, acting like we hated their team 3 months earlier before changes happened to their roster and we got intel on how players are performing?
What?
Predicting where teams will go in March in the offseason.
Ooh. Yay.
Yay. I think we did like Big Ten Bowl predictions. I've already talked to you about that. But now we're gonna do basically the entire top 25. And we're gonna play a game of first weekend, second weekend, final four cart. That's what I want. We're gonna go team by team through ESPN's way too early, top 25. And you're gonna tell me where they're gonna finish their season in March. Simple as that. I do want to make one thing explicitly clear to you on the front end here. There are 4 teams in the final four. Because I have a feeling we're going to start this exercise and you'll have 11 of the first 15 in your final four. There are 4 teams that make the final four. Okay? Okay. All right. Here we go. We'll start at the very top. No, we're going to start at the very bottom and work down because that'll make it harder on you to do the final four. We're going to start with Rutgers. Are they a first weekend, second weekend, or final four team this season?
I'm gonna say first weekend
Why do they lose in the first weekend?
because I think they're talented enough to get to the tournament, but I think the youth and overall talent might be exposed in the tournament. Like to me, they strike me as win a game, lose a game to go to the second weekend.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, some of those teams that like had 2 freshman superstars and not a ton else, like you think back, like wasn't there like OJ Mayo, USC, DeMar DeRozan on a USC team? Like I feel like they didn't make
And Ben Simmons and Antonio Blakeney, like
didn't make crazy deep runs. I guess I'll go first weekend, but I really wanted to go second weekend. I need to get there. I need to see somebody who's not Ace Bailey or Dylan Harper do something great in a Rutgers practice, and then I'll get all the way there on this team. But it still
makes
feels
sense.
very 2-on-5 to me. UCLA, first weekend, second weekend, final four.
I feel like I don't want to do it. I'm gonna say first weekend with UCLA.
I'm going to create
I'm
a
just
new tier called Miss the Tournament.
You saying UCLA misses the tournament.
I think the Big Ten adjustment's going to be a lot harder than anybody's acting like.
Yeah, and I'm like taking it personally this year to like actually think that maybe teams are just bad, even if they, obviously they bring in a lot of new pieces, but like I don't know, like Kobe Johnson wasn't setting the world with winning on fire at USC, and Tyler Bilodeau played for Oregon State, who's one of the worst teams in Division One. Like,
I've talked myself out of it. They're a first weekend team.
okay, first weekend for me too, by the
But it
way.
feels really icky. Like I don't think they get a win in the NCAA tournament, even if they make the NCAA tournament. Next on the list is Mark Pope's Kentucky team. Mark Pope has 0 NCAA tournament wins in his career.
I'm gonna go second weekend for Mark Pope and the boys.
Right away, a Sweet 16 for Marky P.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, right away. I'm starting to buy like this roster just being like shooty Mark Popey.
I like shooty Mark Popey. Yeah, believing in Kirk Reese in March has never bit anybody in the butt.
Hey,
I'm gonna go
Kirk
first
Reese maybe
weekend.
second weekend.
I'm gonna go first weekend, but I think they can win a game. And if they win a game in the tournament, that is a success. I think once you get to the round of 32, you run into talent issues, and that's a problem. That's a problem. Like even BYU had a great regular season last year. They looked like the worst talented team against Duquesne. That
Yeah,
was
that
an
was tough.
issue. So we'll see. Next up is Texas. You love Texas.
I had Texas as I'm gonna say first weekend
Why not second weekend?
because I think I just saw the light.
What's the light? It's
They need to
Rodney
be free
Terry.
from they need to be free from Rodney Terry.
Yeah, the Woodson comp. Got it. Got it through your head here
Yeah,
finally. I'm
it
gonna
hit
go
me
first
hard.
weekend specifically for that reason. I don't trust Rodney Terry, and there's a lot of talented players on this
But you
team.
love
But
Jordan Pope.
Rodney Terry did make a second weekend also already.
Yeah, and you love Jordan Pope.
I want to see it. I want to see it first. I think they'll win a game. maybe there should be a distinction between winning a game and not winning a game. Florida, first weekend, second weekend, Final Four.
Second weekend.
I'm going second weekend too. Here's the first one we're both buying. I think Walter Clayton, guards in March type thing. He should be really special, and I buy that Elijah Martin's going to be great for Todd Golden as well this year.
I echo that.
Yeah. Ole Miss, Chris Beard, first weekend, second weekend, Final Four.
I'm gonna say first weekend. This is a team that I would put in the I gotta see it category. Like people keep telling me that like he just did all these things. And yes, you got like Padula, you got Brakefield back, you got Morrell back, they got Malik Dia, I believe, from Belmont. But like I gotta see it with this roster. So I'm gonna say first weekend. And maybe not win a game in the tournament.
I'm going first weekend. I think they're a tournament team for sure. I do think Chris Beard can win without talent, and now this team finally has some talent. This is one of those teams where like I think they may be more productive in the regular season than the tournament to me. Like it's a team that I think can win a lot of games against the bottom of the SEC teams, but then they show up against like a top 20 team in the country and they're just a little outmatched talent wise. Cincinnati, first weekend, second weekend, Final Four.
I'm gonna say first weekend. And maybe not win again. I get that they brought back this team from the NIT run last year, and I believe in like the guards. I do. Like I think that Jizzle James is gonna be good. They got Skilling back. They add Dylan Mitchell, my former Longhorn, but I don't know if there's enough upgrading across this roster to like go. I think there's enough to make a jump to the tournament and making it. Don't know if I see a jump to go on second weekend.
It's a prove it year for Wes Miller for me. And I think he will prove it by making the tournament. I don't think it goes further than making the tournament. This is a team I would love, depending on the draw, obviously, when we get there, a long way away. This is one of those ones where if they get like a 6 or a 7 seed, I'm circling them as a team to put on upset watch early if they get a Cinderella team that I like. Indiana, first weekend, second weekend, Final Four.
First weekend.
You hesitated.
I did, but then I remembered.
It's a total prove it until you see it. You won't believe it.
Yeah.
Do you think they win a game?
Yes.
I got them second weekend. I got them far into the second weekend. I have this team in the Elite Eight. That's where I'm thinking right now.
Does it go right from second weekend to Final Four?
Yeah, we just need to tier it up, but you can elaborate. And there's a distinction between making the Elite Eight and making the Sweet 16 to me. I think Mike Woodson will get this team on the cusp of the Final Four. And then Gabe Cupps being on the cusp is probably as far as they should
go. Cup on the cusp.
Yeah. Marquette, Shaka Smart, and Cam Jones. Where they go?
This is mean. But I think it's first weekend.
I think it's first weekend too. I think they're going to surprise in the Big East, but I don't trust the depth here outside of Cam Jones and a couple of the guys who were starters last year.
Also, Shaka crying when they made it to the second weekend after beating Western Kentucky or whoever it was did not sit right with me.
You're right. Yeah, maybe it's a comeback to Jesus Shaka in March here a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Purdue. Once was one of my Final Four picks. Then they lost Cannon Catchings. Where are they going to go?
I got them second weekend, Elite Eight.
Really?
Yeah, I got them go to the Elite Eight.
Okay.
So I think Braden's going to be special enough to get him there.
Still getting that far. I'm going to go second weekend. This feels like a Sweet 16 year for Purdue for me. This feels like a surprise everybody kind of like we're in contention in the Big Ten again. We make a second weekend, prove that Matt Painter is like a second weekend every year type guy now. And then next year they return everyone and they're top 5 in the country preseason.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it feels like to me. Moving on. Creighton, first weekend, second weekend, Final Four.
I'm going to say second weekend. I think they're good enough to get the second weekend.
Really? Just really, really into Calk still? And like,
yeah,
Pop Isaacs is going to work?
He'll work enough to get in the second weekend.
I'm going to go first weekend here. I don't trust Ashworth and Pop. I just don't. Say that out loud. Ashworth and Pop. I don't see that as a team that wins 2 games in the tournament. Arkansas, first weekend, second weekend, Final Four for John Calipari.
Second weekend. My dog's gonna take it personal.
And do you think taking it personal means make a Sweet 16?
Yeah. Too much chatter that he can't do it. And he's gonna rip off at least 2 wins.
We got 4 to use. This team's a Final Four team to me.
Ooh.
This team's a Final Four team to me. The footage that has dropped of John L. I like that guy. That guy's good. That guy's
Yeah.
really good. That guy's a Calipari guard. He's really good. You know who else is good? Boogie Fland is really good. I think the front court's great. I think Adu is like a great winning team starter guy that makes deep runs in the tournament. Like they answered a lot of their issues that Cal's team had last year. They got Vetty, they got defensive stuff inside, and I'm buying. I think this is a prove it year for Cal and a stick it to everybody year, and they make a Final Four. Tennessee, first weekend, second weekend, Final Four.
Ah. Mm. I'm actually gonna say first weekend for Tennessee. Because I think you got in my head a little bit. I think there's gonna be like it's not just get guy in, like these guys just aren't don't connect.
Yeah.
And last year was really, really special. And unfortunately, they ran into a generational college basketball player in Zach Edey.
Yep. I agree with you. I'm going to get out of my head now, though, and I'm going to say second weekend. Mostly, I think Dubar is going to be really good. And what holds this team back is not trying to replace Connect. It's that Felix Akpara is their center. But it sounds like the reports are that Ziegler and Akpara look great. So there's a lot of Tennessee gassing up of this group right now. And I think they can get 2 wins. I think Rick Barnes has kind of shut the doubters up in March lately a little bit, and that's a good thing. Texas A&M, first weekend, second weekend, Final Four.
First weekend, because it's Wade Taylor.
I'm shocked you're saying that. I thought you picked like a sneaky Elite Eight run or something from them.
If I did, then they would lose first game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go first weekend. I think they get at least 1 win though, and this is one of the teams like I will keep an eye on because I think they have Final Four potential if all clicks, and I love the Pharrell Payne ad. Auburn, first weekend, second weekend, Final Four.
Ooh, I'm gonna say second weekend for them. If Bruce Pearl makes it a point to play his guys more than 30 minutes.
Got it. You know
also if that dude wins presidency.
Did you like the Mighty Ducks movie?
Yeah.
But
Big Goldberg guy.
You like the second one better, right?
Yes.
D2 was like it was the Mighty Ducks, but better.
Right.
That's this Auburn team. It's last year's Auburn team, but this year's version.
Make the first move, Conway.
It's just fresher, it's newer, it's all of that. Yeah, I don't trust the guards. You can sit here and tell me like JP Pegu is like this massive upgrade. I don't see it that way. I think the backcourt's going to let him down. Wow, you were way more prepared for the Ducks analogy than I thought you were. I got first weekend. This is a team I'm going to circle on upset alert in the first round.
You know I can do like the duck call thing too.
Please don't.
Ready? Duck.
That's the dumbest thing you have ever done. North Carolina, first weekend, second weekend, Final Four.
Who's their starting front court?
I'm legit mad at you right now. It's
Sorry.
Van Lubin and Zayden High, James Okonkwo.
That sucks. RJ Davis is also incredible though. So second weekend.
Feels like a Sweet 16 team to me, despite the front court issues.
Yep.
That's what I think. You all right? What's going on there?
I'm putting my hats back on my hat rack.
Got it. Arizona, first weekend, second weekend, Final Four.
Oh.
I thought you put the Final Four hat on specifically for this to like make a point.
I've had this on the whole time, but that's crazy. You haven't noticed that. We've been recording going on like 3 hours now.
Yeah, I don't look at you much when we record.
Well, F you too then. Wow. You think you know a guy. I do have to put 4 teams in there, don't I, Greg?
I can do a duck call quack. I hate you, man. That's gonna play in my head all day.
I am going to say that this team can make a Final Four.
It's not can make, it's will make. Where are they going?
This team will make a Final Four.
Okay. Because Caleb Love gets hot or what? KJ Lewis.
Caleb Love gets hot. Trey Townsend is incredible. Krevis and KJ Lewis are the sophomore jumps. Carter Bryant is good. I like this team.
Second weekend is my answer. I do think this team will be really good, but I just don't trust Caleb to win 4 straight. I trust him to win 3 straight or 2 straight or 1 straight. 4 is tough. It's really hard to be as high volume and not tank their season like he did against Clemson last year when they got to the second weekend. Duke, first weekend, second weekend, Final Four. Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Second weekend. They'll come up 1 short. Elite 8.
Really?
Yeah. What number team is Duke, by the way? I don't want to see how many spots I have left.
They're 8, so there's 7 more.
Shit. All right.
This is really hard for me because this is going to get clipped and sent to every Duke player individually. And I am in my head right now. I'm 40% they're going to make a Final Four. 40% they're going to lose first weekend, 20% in the second weekend. And I'm just going to be bold and stupid. I think this Duke team loses in the first weekend. You're FaceTiming me right now.
I was trying to get a hold. You don't want to do. There's these Duke pages. They clip it. Why would you do that? I was trying to call you and tell you not to do that.
They're really young, Cart. They're really, 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 really young. And there's always somebody who loses who's not supposed to. No?
Haven't you seen? Have you seen the movie Dumb and Dumber?
Do you believe in Tyrese Proctor?
No.
Do you believe in Caleb Foster?
I should do. Yeah.
Okay. Then I probably should. As long as you believe in one of those guys, then I shouldn't do what I just did.
You know who else I respect
Cooper
and
Flag.
trust?
Cooper Flag.
Ramon Flag.
And he got a middle name?
Yeah, Ramon.
Cooper Ramon Flag is a thing now?
Mm-hmm.
That, correct me if I'm wrong, the only other Ramon you've ever given out is LeBron.
Because that is LeBron's middle name.
LeBron Ramon James and
Cooper Ramon
Flag.
Yeah.
This is breaking my brain that I just put them first weekend now. Now I want to put them Final Four, but it's too late. It's too late. It's too late. I don't even believe what I just predicted, I don't think. I'm scared. I'm really scared. Moving on. Iowa State, first weekend, second weekend, Final Four.
Second weekend.
Second weekend, and it looks exactly like the Illinois game last year. They make a Sweet 16. They're down 10 the whole game. They try and scratch and claw. They're just not good enough. Baylor, first weekend, second weekend, Final Four.
We'll make a Final Four.
Final Four. The only thing that scares me about Baylor is how aligned you and I are on Baylor.
That never ends. The last time we were this aligned was with Keontae George.
And with Creighton last year, we both had them to win the national title. So, like, you and I being this in on Baylor scares me.
But in our defense, there's been no, like, ring ceremony for Baylor. But also it's because they lost early in the tournament last year.
Also in our defense, they have a new facility.
And they got Valdez.
I'm going to stick with in on Baylor. I think this is a Final Four team, but I am terrified that you and I both agree with that. Gonzaga.
Second weekend.
I'm going to go second weekend, and I think Elite Eight, like right on the cusp again. Really, really good team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any questions. I just think they'd probably be fifth on my list of picking teams to make a Final Four. Houston.
I hate me so much.
First weekend for Kelvin Sampson, really?
What if Milos isn't that good?
Then they got Emmanuel Sharp and LJ Cryer and JoJo Tugler.
Like, yeah, we love those guys.
But they're LJ Cryer and Emmanuel Sharp and JoJo.
This team almost got Texas A&M last year.
They did almost get Texas A&M with Jamal Shead. They also probably make a Final Four if Jamal Shead doesn't get hurt.
And Jamal Shead's not there.
Jamal Shead's not there.
I think the thing with Houston that's giving me the first weekend vibes is not even necessarily talent, because you point out Sharp and Cryer. Do Sharp and Cryer want to be the guys though? Do they want to, like, because everyone looked to Jamal Shed to do something and make it happen, and they did it.
I think Sharp does. That's a fair critique of Cryer, who ran from Baylor. So I don't know that I would say Cryer wants to be the guy, but Sharp I think can be the guy and wants to be the guy. Here's why I'm gonna agree with you.
Oh, wow, what?
And it's nothing about their roster, anything you said. I say it all the time. March is a fickle, fluky little beast. Things have been going too well for Kelvin and March lately, in my opinion. We've kind of all just accepted that every year Houston makes a second weekend and it's no questions asked, and we're a top 5 team in Ken Pom. Maybe the discussion should start to become, how come he's had the best team in Ken Pom 3 of the last 4 seasons and hasn't made a Final Four? They've had the best team in college basketball per the analytics 3 times. He had one Final Four a while ago to show for it. It was a while ago. I'm not saying he's a great March coach. He's a great March coach. Great March coaches get bit. It happens. Things swing. Rick Barnes has made a couple straight second weekends. Bruce Pearl keeps getting upset right now. You try and make sense of it, you can't. March is weird. I think they're due for an underwhelming March run when they don't have an alpha superstar that we believe in.
Yeah, I agree.
There you have it. There's 3 teams left here. UConn. We both have 2 spots left in our Final Four.
Second weekend.
Second weekend for UConn.
Mm-hmm.
Where does it fall short, and what does it look like?
Elite 8.
How many fans does Dan Hurley verbally assault on the way out after the Elite 8 loss?
6.
Okay. Who gets them? Like, who's the coach that gets over the Dan Hurley hump?
Bill Self.
Okay. So that's coming still. I have UConn in the Final Four. I'm going to believe in Hurley, and I'm going to believe in the shooting, and just plug it in automatically and not change my mind, no matter what I see. Alabama.
Final Four.
I'm going to go second weekend. I believe in Mark Sears enough. I'm not going to put him on an upset watch, but I think they will fall a little bit short of the top 4. And then Kansas, you have them in the Final Four.
I do, yes.
As do I. So can you run your Final Four fully back for me? It's Kansas, Alabama, Baylor, and Arizona.
Yep.
And mine is Kansas, UConn, Baylor, and Arkansas. Let's just do our whole way too early Final Four thing. What are the matchups and who wins?
We have Arizona versus Alabama. And then we wait, no, because I don't want Big 12 matchup though. Wait, no, it doesn't matter.
It could happen.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. So then on the other side you have Kansas and Baylor. Ooh.
Tommy Lloyd versus Nate Oates would be a nice, like, handing of the torch to the next gen coaches.
Yeah. I like my Final Four.
It's all right.
All right, F off. And I think it'll be Kansas. Let's get a little spunky here. Kansas versus Arizona.
And who wins? Caleb
Kansas.
Love back to a national championship game.
Kansas.
Kansas wins. Okay. I am going to do. Let's see here.
You're lucky you didn't say BYU. I would have sent them to a Final Four, by the way.
I'm going to do Arkansas versus Kansas, Baylor versus UConn. And
what a Final Four coaching matchup.
John Calipari, Bill Self, Dan Hurley, Scott Drew.
That's special.
Give it to me. I think in the Final Four, Bill Self pantses John Calipari. Like 47-point win.
Oh my God.
And John L. Davis pouts. But they got there, and that's all that matters. And then Cal, like, blames his players in the hallway after. I think Hurley is just going to Hurley. Hurley's Drew. It happens. UConn somehow finds a way and gets over like a 40-point game from Valdez. And then in the championship, we have Bill Self versus Dan Hurley. Bill Self says an hour before the game that he's retiring after the game. It becomes a huge thing. And then Dan Hurley stomps his ass and kisses him goodbye with a UConn three-peat.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah. We just gave you the whole college basketball season right there.